Hey there, it is Julie Littlechild, and I'm here again with you with a quick hit idea on client experience. Today, what I wanted to do is talk to you about something called the honeymoon effect. It's a real thing, it's backed by science. In its true term, the honeymoon effect applied to people who, of course, are newly married, and the fact that very close after that marriage, things are wonderful. There's a bit of a halo effect created, and then over time, some of the annoyances start to creep up, and of course, some of that wanes. Now, the reason for recognizing the honeymoon effect, of course, is that it is not a necessary condition if we recognize it. I think that when it comes to our client relationships, we're at similar risk and that the honeymoon effect applies as well. So in that scenario, of course, we would get a new client, everything would be wonderful, everybody's happy, and then over time, if things aren't intentionally managed, then dissatisfaction can start to creep in, or perhaps a mismatch on expectations. So I want to talk about what we can do about that. Now, most important, we start working with the right clients. I think that if we're working with the wrong clients, if there's not a good fit, then we're almost doomed to failure, just as would be the case if we married the wrong person. So when it comes to right fit, it's about understanding your ideal and perhaps digging in during that discovery process on their experience with other advisors, what happened, what worked and what didn't, just so that you get a full feel for where they're at. So that would be a baseline issue that we really need to address. But let's talk about some of the simpler, more tactical things. And that's about reinforcing the relationship, reinforcing value in that first 30 to 90 day period in a way that you may not do with other clients with longer term existing clients. So what might that look like? It could be simple things like sending them something tangible, like a book, something that they can hold and flip through and feels like a real gift with some true value. It could mean having the team follow up from time to time, perhaps after the first statement goes out, just to ensure that they're clear on everything and see if they have any questions. So that sort of call just to touch base and ensure that things are progressing as they assumed or that they understand that statement, as I say. And that applies to you as well. The unexpected call. Maybe it's 15 days in, 30 days in, just to touch base and see how things are going. Now, that's not a bad idea for all of our clients, particularly important, I think, though, for our new clients. Manage expectations. Make sure that you have not only defined but are communicated exactly what clients can expect. Document it, create a service agreement. All of that certainly helps mitigate any potential that the honeymoon effect is going to hit you. But the final idea I wanted to share with you is a new client survey. This is something that, it's not a broad-based survey, it's something that you might send to a single client, so one at a time, one page, maybe 10 statements where they rate from completely disagree to completely agree, and it just looks at that initial relationship. So how did the transition go? Are there any questions? Do they feel comfortable? All of those things that are associated with becoming a new client. If you're surveying your clients, you don't want to wait 12 months, 18 months, even 24 months to know if there's a problem. So this is a way of very simply and easily reaching out and in a more formal way, understanding what's going on with those clients. So there are a lot of different ways that we can think about mitigating the honeymoon effect. You know, it's so easy when we get a new client to just breathe a sigh of relief. We're together now. I've got a good client experience. I'll get them into that. But we've got to acknowledge that things are different at the beginning of that relationship, that there is a higher level of potential concern or perception of risk or emotional intensity. So I just think we need to be intentional about that first 90 days, perhaps do a little more, think intentionally about demonstrating value, and then you've got your ongoing client experience to pick up from there. So beware of the honeymoon effect. It affects us just as it affects, it seems, many marriages, and I hope it's not something you experience. Take care. Thanks for stopping by.